My name is Ahmed, and I grew up in a small town in Egypt. Numbers always made sense to me, simple and clear. But English? It was like a wall. I couldn't climb. In school, English class was my nightmare. I remember the day. Our teacher asked me to read aloud. My heart pounded as I stood up, gripping the book with trembling hands. Words like enough, through, and thought stared at me, confusing. I opened my mouth, but no sound came. My voice was stuck. My classmates shifted in their seats, some holding back laughter. I felt their eyes on me, and my face turned red. I stood there, shaking, unable to speak. I sat down, wishing the floor would swallow me. Years later, I finished my studies in accounting. But when I started searching for jobs, every good opportunity seemed to demand fluent English. I hesitated but thought, if I wait for perfect English, I'll wait forever. So, on my CV, I wrote, fluent in English. It was a lie, but I had to try. One afternoon, I checked my email at a cafe and nearly dropped my phone when I saw an invitation for an online interview with a company in the USA. Subject, interview invitation. Dear Ahmed, we have reviewed your resume and would like to invite you for an online interview for the junior accountant position. Please let us know your availability. Best regards. HR department. I couldn't believe it, but fear crept in. What if they spoke too fast? What if I froze again? I spent the next 2 days practicing sentences in front of the mirror. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity. I have 2 years of experience in accounting. Could you please repeat that? Each sentence felt like a challenge, but I kept practicing. I had only one chance. The interview day arrived. I wore my best shirt and sat down with my second-hand laptop. My hands shook as the video call began. The interviewer smiled and said, "Hello, Ahmed. How are you today?" For a second, I froze. Then I remembered my practice. Good afternoon. I am fine, thank you. How are you? I answered. My accent was thick, but the interviewer smiled and nodded. The questions focused on accounting, my safe zone. The interview ended quickly, and they said they'd get back to me. I closed my laptop, unsure if I had done enough. A few days later, another email arrived. Congratulations, Ahmed. We are excited to offer you the junior accountant position. Welcome to our team. That day, I realized something important. Even broken English can open doors, as long as you have the courage to knock. I told my parents, packed my bags, and flew to the United States. But when I arrived, reality hit. Everything was in English. Signs, announcements, conversations. I could barely understand. The first weeks at work were the hardest. In meetings, colleagues spoke quickly, and I could only catch random words: invoice, deadline, balance sheet. It felt like I was always playing catch-up, trying to piece together What was said? My heart raced every time someone spoke to me. I nodded and smiled, pretending to understand. But inside, I was terrified of making a mistake. One afternoon, I went to a store to buy toothpaste. I found the shelf, but there were so many choices. Whitening, extra fresh, sensitive. I couldn't understand the differences. A store worker came over and said, "Can I help you find something?" I understood, but I didn't know how to answer. My mind froze. I pointed and said, "4 teeth, clean." She smiled gently and handed me a box. I thanked her and walked away quickly, feeling embarrassed. Even a simple task felt hard when I didn't have the right words. But at work, my manager said, "Take your time, Ahmed. You're doing fine." That kindness pushed me to keep going. I watched cartoons, listened to podcasts, and practiced with coworkers. Slowly, my English improved. Now, I speak confidently. I join meetings, share stories, and help new employees. When I look back, I'm proud, not just for surviving, but for fighting, word by word, sentence by sentence, to build the life I wanted.